into the black hole. Sing for my soul.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Sunshine on Leyth. It's the start of season 16. It is very much likely, in fact, I don't know why I've been saying that, it is the final season of this save. We're going to have time for one more pull at something special, and that's why I've kind of just gone all out this summer. I was a little bit sat on the fence about some signings, and then eventually I just kind of decided, you know what, this is our last chance to really try something big. Let's just go and absolutely smash it with the summer signings and see if we can pull off a miracle. I still think that's very, very unlikely, but I would like to see how close we can actually get this year, and I think there's a lot on the line for that. So a lot of the talk in the analysis video, and for a lot of the last few episodes really, has been about the fact that I feel like the right back spot, despite Kane McLean having a fantastic season, I feel like that was the one spot in our team that I could really plow money into and feel like we would get genuine improvements for that. Now, this summer's been a very weird one because there's been a couple of transfer sagas. I would argue that they're both negative, but we have ended up coming out of them with players regardless, but there's been some negatives on the other side of things. And that has actually caused us some problems. There have been some outs, one particularly big out, which has annoyed me to no end, but there's also been some ins, and I'm pretty happy with them, but I still think they could have been improved. I've got another transfer in the works right now, which could see our total outlay to go to over £200 million, to give you an idea. Not only that, but Blackhaven have been splashing the cash. They've already spent £80 million. I expect them to spend even more. They really are preparing for something big this season too, so this is going to be a big battle, I sense. So, without any further ado, there's no point beating around the bush. We have had a Premier League game. I'll talk to you guys about that in a minute. It was against Arsenal, but today we're going to be playing the UEFA Super Cup against Bayern Munich, because I thought, it's a new competition, one we've not played before, so I thought that'd be good to start the season here. So we've had one Premier League game off camera. We'll talk about that afterwards, but we've got some interesting stuff today. But first, let's deal with the first big transfer saga. It's predictable, but not in the way that I expected. Clive Kimberly left. Again. But this one, it boggles my tiny brain, honestly. It really, really does. So there we are, ploughing along in the summer transfer window. Now, I should point out, I also sold Rui Lashka. He's gone, I'll talk to you about that in a minute, £20 million. I can't remember exactly where he went, but I was like, that's a good deal, get him off the books. We'll have Clive, we'll have Mike Nielsen, and we'll have Costa, just in case we get any problems there, and we'll look for a ball-winning midfielder. All looking pretty solid, concentrating on other areas of the pitch. We'd had some big bids for Flamarion and for Balde from Real and Paris Saint-Germain, and neither of them, Flamarion did require me to get a player to talk to him, but he was fine. Balde didn't even complain when I rejected the bid from Real Madrid. That's the kind of commitment I like to see. And I saw that Clive Kimberly was wanted by Norwich, and I thought, good, that's kind of safe, really. It's Norwich City, it's not a big deal. Then they put a bid in of, I think it was £30 million, which I thought, okay, that's fine, we can turn that down. Oh, no, Clive had other ideas. Clive immediately became unsettled because he wanted to move to Norwich City. Oh, Clive, going up in the world, are you, bud? And I think it is genuinely just because we're obviously on such a meteoric rise that our reputation has yet to catch up with that. And Norwich had a couple of good seasons where they were performing very, very well. So they've obviously got some leftovers, and I think they may have even had Europe one year. I don't know. But regardless, I sent players to talk to him. None of them were working. I then went to talk to him, and he was like, no, I want to leave. And I did the best thing you can do. I tried the influential player crap, all that sort of jazz. And eventually, he basically kicked up a massive fuss, did the whole, we have to accept a reasonable bid or whatever. So at that point, it was like, he was upsetting other squad members. You get the meeting, the old, we think you should let Clive Kimberly leave. That kind of crap. Which was just marvellous, because again, he wanted to go to Norwich. So in the end, I decided, you know what? To hell with him. He is one of the... I'm genuinely convinced that Clive Kimberly doesn't even care about wages. I think he just likes signing on bonuses. I imagine he gets quite large ones every time he does one of these transfers, and it seems that he's making most of his money by just joining different clubs every 2 years. I wouldn't be surprised if in the future Whitport sign him back again. So in the end, the deal was £54 million for him to go to Norwich. Now, of course, it's a huge profit for us. I think it's a profit of around about £40 million. Don't get me wrong, that's great. But it did, and obviously I was preparing to potentially put my Nielsen in anyway. So again, that didn't bother me so much, but I was preparing to do that if, for example, Rui Lashka stayed. And then we were kind of left a bit lax with just Nielsen and then just Raul Costa in behind. So yeah, Clive Kimberly, a strange character, but that probably ends the Clive Kimberly saga. So I hope he enjoys his time at Norwich City this year, struggling against relegation, although to be fair, he is very good, so they might actually do better with him in it. It's just a very strange transfer. And it was Krasnodar. Rui Lashka went for £20 million to Krasnodar. This was before the Clive Kimberly thing happened, so I was quite happy to do the deal at the time because it was an extra £20 million for me to invest elsewhere. Kimberly thing happened, and we were kind of left a little bit short. Now, again, the player I'm looking at signing is for the position now, because I wasn't expecting to sign someone there, but I kind of feel like we have to now, particularly as if Nielsen gets injured, we're down to Raul Costa. But anyway, that's enough about that. Let's have a look at some of the signings in. The first of which is Marvin Rodella, who's coming from Kiev Verona, £15 million overall, 7 up front, 7 in 5 years. Over the next 3 years. Now, the reason behind him was I just felt that we needed a little more backup on that right-hand side, because if Lamarion or the Wizard get injured, we're really starting to struggle there. And, you know, he was rated highly, looks like he's decent for the future, 19 years old, so doesn't have to be registered for the Premier League or anything like that. I thought it was a reasonable deal. He did then tear his knee ligaments almost immediately, so that's just sort of showing you the way that it's going. But at the end of the day, I think he'll be back, and he'll be back stronger. So for £15 million for the future, I thought, it's not too bad of a deal. So that's now done. Marvin Rodella is in. We haven't made many more signings. There's only 2 more, 3 potentially if the other guy comes in. The next signing is Paul Tate, 27-year-old defensive midfielder. Now, the main reason I went for Paul Tate was because this was, I think, just after Kimberly had left. I had a load of extra money that I wasn't expecting to have, and we were starting to struggle. So I thought, you know what? Let's try and find someone that can kind of cover both positions, but not really. He was mainly designed to be the backup to Fran or to play in that role. Now, obviously, because we signed him from PSG, he wasn't getting game time there, but that didn't stop them from asking for moon money for him. But I still think he's a solid player. He doesn't have the height that Fran has. That's the one problem. But he's got very, very good tackling and marking and first touch. His positioning is great, good work rate, generally good stuff for what I would want from my ball-winning midfielder when you just sort of assess it like this. Aggression's a little on the low side, but still all right. Good anticipation, bravery, concentration, things you kind of want for that. Decent heading, despite not having good jumping reach. Now, it's £23 million up front for Paul Tate, and it could rise to as much as, I think, 40-something with all the clauses added onto that as well. He's on quite large money because he's 27 years old and is an England international, but part of the reason I was keen to do this as well is because Clive was English, it meant that we were losing a slot too. So to bring in another English player who counted as homegrown, I felt was the right move for us. It did cost us a lot of money in terms of the wages, but I felt that it had to be done at the time. And now the other transfer saga. So you may have heard me mention, potentially over the last 2 seasons, about a guy that plays for Roma called Spegiorin, who is a right-back, and he is brilliant. Now, last summer, we couldn't sign him because he wasn't interested in joining us, because obviously he plays for Roma. We were in the Europa League and didn't have the rep to go with it. This summer, towards the end of the season, I've been looking at him, and it said that he was dubious, but there was still a chance there, still a chance. So I tested the waters with a bid. We had a deal agreed for £83 million, which is a lot of money, I grant you, but remember, this is the right back of our dreams. I compared every right back I could find and made a special filter that shows all of the stats that are key, attributes that are key for the right back role that we use. And I had a special chart that showed all the right backs I had scouted, basically, so we could see who was coming out on top of each of them. But I went back for Spegiorin anyway. He wouldn't agree a deal with us. He wouldn't even talk to us. I thought, all right, fine, whatever. That's kind of nipped in the bud. We tried a few times, set him as a top transfer target, did all that stuff to try and convince him to join, but the dubious thing was not going away. So I thought, you know what, fine. Let's let it tick over until we're officially a Champions League side and see if we get the rep boost. We did. Still wasn't interested. In fact, weirdly, when we ticked over into the new season and it gave us the rep boost and the Champions League club status, it then went from dubious to none at all. So I don't know why he then became less interested in us the moment we got into the Champions League and got the rep boost. Weird one, that. So at that point, I basically had to bin it off and go for someone different, which is exactly what we did. And here is he, Alfredo Oboljan. I hope that's how you pronounce his surname. German international from Bayern Munich, 26 years old. The biggest signing I'll ever make in this save, to be honest, and it has cost us a lot. In fact, it was £82 million. So it was £1 million less than what we would have got for the Roma guy, to be fair. All those players I was looking at were around about the same price tag. So it's 40 and then 40. That's basically how it went. And he is spectacularly good for that role that we want. Like, his tackling is the one thing that Spegiorin had better tackling, and his teamwork was slightly better. And that was about it as far as the... I think Spegiorin might have been one bit quicker on pace. So he had... and Spegiorin was also 5 years younger. That was the reason I was really interested in him. But when it was unable to be done, it was unable to be done. So we signed Alfredo Oboljan. He's kind of got a bit of everything. Like, he's incredibly good in the physicals, but he's also not super short either. He can get forward. Marking of 14 is pretty solid. His passing's 13. He's got great technique. Crossing and dribbling's okay. None of them really had excellent crossing or dribbling. They were all sort of around the 12, 13. I think one of them might have 14, but there were so many other drawbacks. Good, basically, in all the other... Hang on, let me just set it to support, because that's the role he's actually going to play. Good, generally speaking, in most of the key areas for me. No issues with injuries or stuff like that. That was the key for me. So, yeah, we got Alfredo Oboljan in. Record transfer for the club. Comfortably the biggest signing the club will ever make. To sign a current German international from Bayern Munich at 26 years old, practically in his peak, was quite the coup for us. I'm surprised he would join us, but I think it's just because he wasn't playing regularly for Bayern at the time. But the reason the transfer saga slightly continued is I then got a scout report through about Spegiorin, as you do, and all of a sudden it had asking prices on it again. So I went back and had a look, and all of a sudden, would you believe it, Spegiorin would suddenly talk to us. And obviously I didn't sign him or anything, but all of a sudden he would have agreed wages with us and would have probably been on less money than this guy is. Which begs the question, what gives? Speg, what gives? What changed? So all in all, I think it could have gone better, but I still think that we've made the right decisions in places. Certainly when I was able to make the decisions myself. And truth be told, because Clive had no release clause, we could have held on to him and had the unhappy player. But to be honest, Clive, if he wants to kick up that kind of fuss, he can piss off to Norwich and enjoy his time there. So we're basically fully fit, which is just wonderful. We've actually picked up virtually no pre-season injuries. Kayo and Lonchar, Balde, Flammarion, Hubert, Connor, Matondo, Oboljan, Ellison in goal. Fran and Nielsen, we've got options with Tate as well in there too. It's another hilarious thing is Afkir complained about the whole work permit situation to me because I didn't realise he'd no longer got one. And then in the thing, I was like, well, maybe we should let you go. And he's like, no, I'd much prefer a move to specifically Chukwudichki Stankom, our affiliate side, because of the work permit thing. So I thought, all right, fine. You know what? Let's do it. So I went to the affiliate thing and sent him to the affiliate club, and then he rejected the loan deal. What are you doing, Omar? So yeah, I think we're strengthening in the right areas. I'm going to put Dave Morton on the bench here, of course. That way we'll have 3 on each side once Marvin comes back. It's only just occurred to me. Yeah, we beat Arsenal 2-1. Nielsen from the penalty spot. Silla then equalised for Arsenal, but then Saliu Balde scored a lovely goal to finish the game off for us. So we did manage to beat Arsenal fairly comfortably. Probably could have had a couple more, but it's not the end of the world. We're easing into the season. You may also notice that Lloyd Velvik is still here. The amount of times I've accepted bids for him over the summer is ludicrous. I've never had a player reject so many contracts from other sides. One of them I even had me paying a lot of his wages just to get rid of him. Nope, he is, just as he's happy to stay, I'm like, good, I'm glad you're happy to stay. He's like the Jack Rodwell of Whitport. Love these large benches too. You gotta love a large bench. We're playing the match in Sofia in Bulgaria, cool. In a breezy 32 degrees. I have high hopes for us. Does that feel a bit fast to you? There we go. Uber getting in there. So the one thing I did make a change by the analysis videos, we've moved the Balde role, or this left-hand side, up to being an attacking role rather than support for the full season, because I really do feel like that was maybe holding them back a little bit from getting quite so involved. And he looked much better against Arsenal, I've got to say. Nielsen, I was hoping he would have pinged that. Mike, Kayo, look at the space. Just bends it wide. We've also had new contracts for Kayo. He definitely needed one. And Dave Morton, I gave a new deal because it's Dave Morton and we love him, don't we? Balde, there we go. Kayo can peel this away. Nice first touch. Lonchar's making the run for him. Balde with the overlap. Here we go. Go on, Balde. He's into the box and he's won us a penalty. I think he won us the penalty in the other game as well. He's very much on it. I don't know who's taking it, though. That's a good question. It is Dale Connor. Can he score? Yes, he can. That only just snuck in there. Dale Connor's first goal of the season is from the penalty spot. I sorted out set pieces, but forgot to do penalties. And obviously with Clive leaving the club, we've got a bit of a vacuum in that spot. But Dale Connor gives us the lead in the UEFA Super Cup. I mean, this is a good sign. Lonchar. Flammarion's back there, but Lonchar's just going through. Flammarion's now in. Kayo! Oh, nice. I am extremely impressed with us so far, handling Bayern Munich the way we are. And bear in mind, these guys won the Champions League last season. This is not like some... Oh, hello. Matondo again. Flammarion through, and... Okay, strange choice to find Kayo there, but maybe that'll work out for us. Balde! And it's into the side netting. Kasama around the side. That's surely too tight of an angle to score. Oh, wow. Well done, Jerry. Oh, Flammarion. Yes, he does. Well played. And, Oboljan's already making the run. Fran, somebody has to find him. Mike Nielsen does. This is the kind of extra athleticism I want to see from Oboljan. All the way through. Oh, that was really nice football. That's better. Very, very encouraging. Istenberg. Oh, it's a nice ball through. And a great save again by Jerry Ellison. That's a good chance for Bayern there. They really did get through our middle quite nicely. Oh, Bayern are up for it now. Oboljan's going to go out there to defend again. He's not going to be able to. Oh, no. What are you doing? There's no way you need to make that challenge. Well, it's obviously going to be a penalty. He's sived him down from behind, of all places. I don't know what he's trying to do there. Alfredo's got a bit messed up there. That's obviously a pen. Yes, it's a penalty. What a surprise. Are we really shocked? That was a blatant foul from Oboljan there. Now we need Jerry Ellison to step up against Kasama, and he doesn't even move. He's got a deck chair sat in the middle of the goal like, try me, folks. Oh, good. It's one penalty each. Does Jerry Ellison actually even move a muscle? He stood, and then... No. Okay, he's good. Just do some jazz hands instead. Not brilliant from us. It's a penalty each today. Oboljan now. Got to try and make up for that miss. Well, not even miss. Miscarriage of brain. Flammarion. He's all the way in. Finds Balde over the crossbar. But still, holding our own against the Champions League winners is a very good sign for me about what we could potentially achieve this season. Hubert. And it's a corner. If we were to lose it on penalties, I don't think I'd mind too much. I think it's definitely stepping in the right direction here for us to not look outclassed by them. And we've gone straight to penalties because literally nothing else happened. So we'll auto pick the pens and let's just go. This is going to be a while because you know how long penalty shootouts take. We would get this by pure luck as Nelson slots home a penalty for 1-0 Whitport. Good stuff. Kasama for Bayern. And it's and in off the post. The wizard for Whitport. And he's ironically the best penalty taker in the entire squad. Instenberg now for Bayern. And it's an easy save for Jezza. Young Raul Costa now with a chance to put us in. Oh, and he smashes it in front. Well played, Raul. Dietl for Bayern. Come on, Jerry. Oh, it's so close if he'd have stuck out a fingertip. Dale Connor, who's already scored a penalty in this game, will almost certainly miss this because you never get two. If you've scored a penalty during the match, they seem to miss way more often during the penalty shootouts. Libornia for Bayern Munich, and it's a goal for Bayern. They are probably going to win. In fact, if we miss this, they win. This entire game is going to have been penalties. Literally every goal, every time the ball has gone to the back of the net, is going to have been from a penalty. Regis Matondo now for Whitport. Can he at least keep us in this for one more round? I don't think so somehow. Regis, come on, lad. Oh, smashes at home. Right, okay, Jerry Ellison, time for you, bud. Roussel for Bayern to step up and win it for him, and he does. Oh, Bayern narrowly beat us in the UEFA Super Cup final, but I think we can hold our heads high. We did a bloody good... We played really well for them. We played well against a team like Bayern. That's a good test for us, and I think we're definitely getting there. And maybe with... I don't know. It's just hard to say. It was all penalties in this game. Bad decisions from a Bulger, but he still had a very good game in spite of giving away a penalty. So I guess there's that. Well, it could have been worse. We lost on pens in the end, I suppose. Oh, dear. We got some money for being there, another £3 million. It's kind of nice, isn't it? So, next episode, we're starting off against Liverpool. Oh, God, it's not an easy start there, is it? Arsenal, and then again, it's old Arsenal. It's new Arsenal. Liverpool away, though, that is a big, big test for us. To see how we do at Anfield after some of our performances there last year. Good in the Champions League, sort of. More lucky. And then kind of bad in the league. So, that's what we're going to come back. And then after that, of course, our first ever game in the Champions League. We're a pot 1 team, remember? So, our group could actually be quite favourable with the chance for us to get through to the knockouts. But watch us still muck this up. Anyway, if you're excited about the new season, the final season of Sunshine on Leyth, drop a like, that would be sick. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, that'd be awesome too. I stream on Twitch on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and usually at the weekends, but not this time around. And yeah, so go follow there too, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for our very first Champions League match. Can't wait. See you guys soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.